It was probably 1980.
It was Mitch's birthday, and we decided to meet at Marie Callender's, and I think we were drinking Long Island iced teas and having a good time.
We had some drinks and we were laughing. Everything we talked about just kept getting funnier and funnier and funnier. And then when we left, we were in the parking lot, and Troy had reached down and said, "Check this out." And he peels up this little grass, and I'm like, "Whoa." And he's like, "Yeah, this was like dirt probably yesterday or whatever," and they just laid it in there, and it's a planter, and it's all just rolled out sod, And neither one of us had a yard, so we're like, we should borrow some of that. Well, actually, we were not going to borrow, we were going to keep it, but it was a bad idea. I don't know why we did it, but anyway, we started rolling it up. Troy rolled up, stack it on my lap.
I started loading Mitch up with the sod, and as soon as I got past where he couldn't see where he was going, made it more fun to push him around a little bit. We load up. We got one load into the van. I think we got 2 loads into the van.
I'd get in the van and then put it down and then come back out. We get another roll. And the funny thing was the restaurant was open, and they were eating outside on the balcony. And it was due to the fact that we had a couple beers, and everything was funny to us. And we were taking the grass, and what got us caught was they said that they could hear people laughing in the parking lot.
The sprinklers came on too. That was wet. That was a little wet. But by that time the cops saw, all these lights kind of showed up on us, and it wasn't our friends. When the cops got there, we told them we'd put it back.
Yeah, we said, we'll put it back.
We'll put it back. We only had 2 loads in your van?
Quite a bit. The police said, he asked the guy, "Do you want to charge him? Like, do you estimate what this is worth?" And he says, "Well, we just got the place landscaped or whatever." And he goes, "I don't know, $10,000. And he goes, "Well, that anything over $400 is grand theft. Do you really want to charge these guys with grand theft?" And he's like, "Absolutely." He was like so mad. Like, he said, "I don't care, do it."
So we got booked for grand theft, and I got handcuffed. Mitch didn't get handcuffed. They let him drive his van to the police station with cars on both sides.
We went to the Corona Police Department. We were in 2 separate jail cells, and there was blood on my mattress and stuff like this. I'm like, I'm not laying in that. Like, it was bad. So I think Troy asked the sergeant if we could have a cell together. And the guy kind of looked at us and he said, "You don't look too dangerous. I think we could do that."
We were talking to each other through the bars. Like, "Hey, man." He's like, "Fucking blood all over us." I go, "I know, the blankets they gave us, fucking blood on them too, man."
Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. Then we get our one phone call, and Troy talked to Junior, his stepdad, and was trying to explain somehow that we'd stolen grass. And he had made this comment like, "Well, how much did you steal?" And he says, "I think it's like 13 rolls." And he said something like, "I thought they weighed that stuff by the pound." And he's like, "No, Junior, not pot, man. We stole turf, sod." And he's like, "Sod? That's even worse. That's stupid." My dad was on fire pissed off, right? And like, they lived in Norco their whole lives, got, nice reputation around town, and then all of a sudden the local paper, "Sodbusters busted Mitchell Payton and Troy Lee." And I'm like, oh, my dad's all, "Did you fucking read this?" I'm like, sorry about that. Like, it wasn't good for a while. He wasn't like, it was no joke to him. It was serious. We wound up going to court. And I remember when we went, our lawyer said, "You guys don't say a word, not a word." We're like, "Okay, no problem. That's easy." And I remember a couple of the phrases, he's like, "Well, Judge, when we were kids, you tipped over outhouses and all that stuff." And I'm like, this is still a little bit different than that. Like, but okay, whatever. So anyway, he talked to the judge, and because we didn't have any prior problems with the law or anything like that, I think they took the grand theft to malicious mischief. And then we were 3 years banned from Marie Callender's and informal probation.
Did you guys ever break that ban?
I don't know if we did or not.
I think I went in about 2 years. I went in to see how things were going.
Checked out, make sure the grass was growing. maybe with some dark sunglasses and a hat, The wheelchair's a little hard to hide, though.
We learned a good lesson. That's why we're not thieves today.
Yeah.
it.